Well, here's my boy Jack. Can you see him? I'm kind of pointing the camera into the sun a little bit here, but I've opened the door for him to see if he wants to come out, and you know, it looks like it won't be long and Jack's going to be going back into shed, so taking the opportunity to get Jack out when I can, I will. And of course, just of late, Jack has been really wanting to come out, and I think that might have something to do with the fact that I have an adult female who, as we know, spends quite a bit of time out here with me exploring. So I'll keep Jack in view with me. Hi, buddy. I don't know if I've got him. It's so hard for me to do this camera because I'm not really good at it, guys, but I do my best. I wish I was better, but I do my best. And as you can see, hopefully, you know, Jack is starting to dull right down again. I mean, with the food that's going in that belly of his, he's got to be growing at the moment. But still looking his beautiful self as my cruiser. Oh, sorry for the fingers here while I try and zoom a little bit for you, because I've got the screen that I can see things on facing in a way that I can't really see it that good. But what I thought I'd do today is actually talk a little bit about a story about me, to do with snakes, but about me too. But how would I start it, and what is it that I really want to tell you? Because, you know, I've done a little bit of a video about me and who I am to some degree. So you get a little bit of, I'll turn around. I mean, I'd like you to see me while I'm actually talking directly to you. It's rude not to. But, you know, I wanted to maybe tell you about snakes in my life. And, you know, I've told you it was Jack and Lacey abandoned, and I found them, and yeah, I found one when I was way younger and had it for a couple of years and so forth. But it wasn't really until Jack and Lacey came into my life that snakes started to really become a big part of my life, and I had no real idea about them. And you know, I'd like, and Jack, would you like, he won't come and join me up here at this particular, he may as he gets further out, but right now he's got to get that big butt out of there. He's getting heavier for me to pull out as well, or help. I can help him out, but I'll let him go at his pace right now. But yeah, it wasn't until I got Jack and Lacey that snakes then lodged in my brain, that I wanted to know as much as I possibly could about them, to learn about them, to know that what I'm doing is going to be the right thing for them. Now, if I went by what I read and what I did learn about them, oh my goodness, honestly, I'd have done the wrong thing, to be perfectly honest with you. I just would have got it so darn wrong. And funny enough, while I'm reviewing all this stuff and looking at all this stuff, everything inside of my brain was saying, no, I don't think so. You know, in terms, and I'll give you examples so you can kind of get an idea of where I'm coming from, that snakes only tolerate us humans handling them. That to put them on a feeding schedule, and that is how you feed them, and this is what you do to feed them, and their enclosures, and how to set them up, and temperatures, and all this sort of stuff. It's all written there in black and white. But honestly, no. I got ideas from it, but I certainly did not go, well, that is the way I have to do it. And of course, there is nothing out there that speaks of these guys bonding with you and having that one-on-one wonderful relationship with you either. So, except of course, and honestly, I would have to be her number one fan without her even knowing I'm her number one fan, I guess. But, you know, I will say one soft kiss was certainly the person that I connected with when watching her videos and watching her with her snakes. Of that is what I saw as to how you take care of your snakes. And I know so many people out there do not agree with her way, and I would hope my way is perceived as the same way. And you're going through there, and I'm going to turn you around now so you can see my boy, maybe, if he's not too much in the dark at this point. But there he is. He's coming up to say hello. But yes, as soon as I started watching her videos, I knew, now this is how you take care of snakes. This is how your life is meant to be with snakes. And a big part of me already knew that. But believe me, that was it for me. That's me. That's going to be me and my snakes. Now, you have to put the time in. You can't just get a snake and say that is how your relationship is going to be with them, because that is so untrue. You still have to develop that trust and respect and get to know your snake. And that is exactly what I did. So much observation, so much watching them, so much just listening. And I know you're not going to get that at all, and maybe some of you will. But listen to them and you will hear them. And I've said in videos I will go to that one day, but you know, for right now, that is how I see my life, and how I've learnt from my snakes is the observations. Now, going back several years, if anybody, or you know, we'd have to go back a little bit further, that anybody had ever said to me that snakes were going to become my best friends and my heart and soul they would steal and have, I probably would have said, what do you mean? You know, no, that's not true. I don't get what you're even sort of saying. But I tell you what, that's exactly what I would say to people today about snakes, is they do that, and they will become that massive part of your life if that is how you care for them. I will wake up thinking about my snakes. I go to sleep thinking about my snakes. I wake up a couple of times during the night to check on my snakes. They are a massive part of my life. They are my best friends. They are my companions. How else do I say it? There are not enough words to combine my dedication to giving them the best life possible and making sure that's exactly what they're getting. And I wouldn't change it for all the money in the world. Nobody could ever put a price on any of my snakes, ever. And because they're invaluable, they're priceless, and they respond to me in the way that they do because it's me. And I can tell people, just because Jack responds to me like he does not mean that is how he would respond to you. You know, it's been having the time and spending with them. So life took me in the direction of having snakes, and honestly, you know, I didn't see it. I did not see that actually happening, or that they would become a part of my life 8 years ago. But now that they're here, my gosh, what was I doing? What was my life before? Yes, it was my 4 children. You know, I've loved every aspect of being a parent and bringing up my children and my grandchildren now. That is still a very, very big part of my life. But this part is all about me and my snakes. It's not about anybody else. And yes, I'm sharing it with you guys because I know there are so many out there that are as passionate about their snakes as what I am. So I don't know whether I've told it in the way that I thought I would or expressed it in the way that I wanted to, but I hope it gives you an idea of how life went for me. And you know, I thought, yeah, a couple of snakes, great, wonderful, this is fantastic, I love it. And then it's 3 snakes, and then it's 4, and it's 5, and it's 6, and so on down the line. And you know, you kind of got to go, all right, that's plenty of snakes, and I'm running out of space and time, and I am, you know, it does come down to that. But I could never walk away from a snake either that needs a home. So, you know, I could fill my whole house up and I would never think twice about what that involves. It is just so easy to do. Well, for me it is. And I have met some amazing people during that time that I would never have met, who love their snakes, who want the best for their snakes as well. And there is no way to describe how I feel about having met those amazing people either. So in every aspect of my life with my snakes, my days are wonderful. The people I've met and are continuing to meet and interact with, whether it be just on YouTube or not, is incredible. And I'm so lucky. I am truly one of the luckiest people in the world to have my snakes, the relationship I do, and the friends that I've made. So that's pretty much it. And you know, Jack gets up on here, and because he's turned into such a big wolf, turning around these days and so forth is not so easy for him. So he's going to need me to literally spin him around a bit. So I'm going to end the video here, and once again, as always guys, thank you so much for watching my videos, and I want you to all take care until the next video. So I will say ciao.